How shall I refer to you? Rainier or Blackwall?
I've gotten used to Blackwall. Perhaps we could treat it as less of a name and more of a title. Almost like Inquisitor. Reminds me of what I ought to be.
Everyone needs something to aspire to.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
So I hear you're smitten with our lovely ambassador.
Really? You too? Who put you up to this? Josephine is brilliant, graceful, witty. Yes, I admire her, as we all should.
Dodging the question.
Does it even matter? Nothing will ever come of it. Though I would appreciate it if you and the others would not speak quite so loudly about it. I think the spy master suspects. She's been glaring at me like she wants me on her mantle.
Is there anything you actually know about the Wardens? Or did you make it all up?
I made very little up. I also feared you knew enough to contradict me. Warden Blackwall told me a bit before my initiation. But it is a secretive order. Not even the most senior Wardens know all there is to know.
Now we know why you were never worried about Corypheus's calling.
Yes. I have none of the Warden's abilities and none of the drawbacks. Still, I would have fought through the darkest pits of the deep roads like any true Warden. There's more to it than being able to sense darkspawn. Warden Blackwall would have agreed.
You have a lot of respect for the Wardens.
They take all men, from the most noble to the most despicable, and make them equals. I needed to believe something like that was possible.
Why did Blackwall want to...
He never told me. That night, didn't know I had an audience.
I can see...
You're assuming, mate. Told the girl to keep the wine coming. She couldn't, not with those louts. Something had to be done.
Worship.
The note just reads, "They are happier now. Thank you."
Let me see. I believe it's from Cole. Was it he who suggested we give the refugees the warmer quarters? I can't remember. A pleasure.
I've heard Blackwall harbors feelings for you.
Leliana informed me. Blackwall is a gallant man, no matter what name he chooses. Alas, there are too many differences between us in station. It must be la splendeur des cœurs perdus.
I'm not familiar with that phrase.
It's a Norwegian term. The splendor of lost hearts. It is when a passion is known, but cannot be consummated. Even though the would-be lovers wish it with all their yearning. Looks may be exchanged. A small token may be left for one to find. But that is all that can ever be.
Are those flowers on your desk a gift, then?
A courier delivered them. A fresh batch comes every week. They're only found on the steepest slopes above Skyhold. Leliana tells me every week, early in the morning, Blackwall slips out and hikes to where they grow.
There's some appeal to that yearning.
Not just appeal, an acknowledgement. In La Splendeur de Cœur Perdu, love is respected, but known. The ardor is bittersweet, but named. It lets many retain dignity that would otherwise be flung to the wind.
What do the people...
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't opened...
Any...
Who did you mean?
What do you think of Sir Blackwall?
I never truly met Sir Blackwall, but Tom Rainier hardly sits better on the tongue. How could he have kept up this deception for so long? To what purpose? Really, Inquisitor, I'd rather not think of it.
Let's speak later.
Farewell. Let us begin. Inquisitor.
work?
Inquisitor. I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did you say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the Fade. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her. A message from Divine Justinia.
That's a shock. You're right reading it.
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Do you know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the Chantry there for many years before she became the Divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the Chantry in Valence. Try not to delay. I expected the hero Ferelden to be at Adamant, but she was not with the other Wardens. She studied the Blight after killing the Archdemon, and may know something that could help us. If you like, I can have agents look for her.
That sounds like a wise choice.
I'll make preparations in the war room. Now, was there anything else?
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
I'll leave you to your work.
The Inquisitor's work is never done, I see.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Popular topic. Anything specific?
Corypheus is a figure out of Tevinter history. He was a magister.
Yes, but that was a different time. The Imperium's power was at its peak then. The Civil War had ended, the Magisterium was united, its armies scooping up bits of Thedas like candy. The Magisters who entered the Black City, it was a demonstration of how exceptional Tevinter had become.
But who were they?
No one knows. There's no record of a Magister named Corypheus. All this happened 1400 years ago, before the Blight nearly wiped us out. There are no records. Today, people half believe it's all just a story. That's what I believed.
We have evidence the story is very much real.
But not who Corypheus is. If he even remembers. There used to be families who claimed some of those Magisters as their own. That stopped when the Chantry appeared. Then it was shameful, and the families distanced themselves from the tale. All we know is that some men and women entered the Black City looking for the old gods. What did they find? According to Corypheus, nothing. And only he could tell us more.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
I should go.
As you wish.
Worship,